Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, today we were going to talk about the first time we talk about fiction book. All right. So this fiction book is called The Five People You Meet in Heaven. So this book, let me do a little bit introduction about this book. This book was published in the year of 2003 and remained as a New York Times bestseller list for 95 weeks. So since its publication, it was sold over 14 million copies in 35 languages. So it is a very awesome book. But one secret to tell you, I never read this book yet. So today, Gideon will be the one that really want to introduce you. Well, who are the five people that is in this book? Then definitely I will be here to navigate through the whole thing. So Gideon, can you tell us why you like this book so much until you say, yes, I'm going to do this book?
So first of all, I'm very excited on this session because finally Joyce let me talk about a story, a novel, So why I like this author so much, let me go through what he has written, Mitch Albom. So the first book actually Mitch has worked is called Tuesday with Morrie. I think a lot of people know Mitch because of this book. It's a real story. So it's not really a fiction. It's a real story about how he spent the last 14 Tuesday with his teacher. Yeah. Okay. And the second book is actually the book that we want to talk about, The Five People You Meet in Heaven. And the next book is Have a Little Faith. And the next one is For One More Day. So One More Day is like, if I give you one more day before you die, what will you do? And I think there's a book called The Timekeeper after this, but I don't know where I put it. So the next book is The First Phone Call from Heaven. If you
receive a phone call from heaven. The full range of the book.
Yes, I'm a super fan.
Mitch Albom.
Yes, I'm a super fan. So, and then the next book is The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto.
Oh.
And these books, I'll talk about this book later on a little bit. The next person you meet in heaven. And the last book that he published last year, 2019, is this book, Finding Chika. This is a real story. Again, this is not novel. This is real story. How about Mitch adopt a daughter from Haiti, and how her daughter spent her last few years because her adopted daughter has an illness, and he actually passed away in the age of 6. So this is really a very, emotional book for me.
Oh, all right. Must be very exciting. So let's talk about today's book first, called Five People You Meet in Heaven. So this is the, who is the first person you want to introduce to us?
So this book, let me give you a background first. So this book is about the main character called Eddie. So Eddie is spent his whole life as a maintenance guy in as amusement park in Ruby Pier. So on his 83rd birthday, he actually made an accident in the amusement park. He tried to save a little girl from an accident in the park, and Eddie died. So after he died, he go to heaven and he meet the 5 persons that have an important impact to his life, whether he know it or not. So the first person that Eddie met actually is called the Blue Man. The Blue Man name is Joseph. So the funny thing is when Eddie meet this person, the Blue Man, he doesn't know who is he. Why I'm meeting you? And it turned out that
I'm curious about why called Blue Man.
Oh, Blue Man is he is when the Joseph is young, he has a sickness or so-called sickness of numbness and bad wetting. So he thought that drinking silver nitrate will help him, but it doesn't happen to be like that. So he got poisoned his skin, and his skin turned to blue. So he becomes sort of a freak show in an amusement park, in in those days in circus, you have this
So sad.
strange thing. Yeah. And why Eddie connect with this blue man is when Eddie is little, due to his mischievousness, he actually ran over to a road and take his ball. They throw over, and the driver, the blue man, actually have to avoid him and skip his car. And later on, the blue man has a heart attack and pass away. So I think the lesson learned I have from on this story, the first person, is that everything that happened in our life, there's a connection. A little small thing, that everything that you do will have impact to other person. So very mindful of what you did. Yeah.
Definitely, because I can see that all the people are connected. We are all influence each other. So like the character in this book is called Joseph just now. Gideon mentioned. I always encourage every one of us spread the kindness, spread the love to those around you. You may not know the small little kind act that you do right now may impact the person in another way. So if you spread more kindness, more love, you will make the world a much better place.
Yeah, definitely agree.
So who is the second person?
So the second person after this is Eddie meet with his captain. His captain in wartime. So Eddie during his younger time, he joined a war in Vietnam, and the captain is the one that will lead them to the war. And the captain had actually sacrificed his life to save the whole team of his team. So Eddie felt very grateful to his captain. And the lesson learned I from this story is that every sacrifice has its meaning. When you sacrifice, actually the person who sacrifice also get satisfaction and the feeling of well-being. There's a very beautiful quote in this book saying that when you sacrifice something precious, you are not losing it. You are just passing to the next person. So like this story, the captain sacrificed his life, but he actually passed down his life to Eddie, and Eddie can continue the kindness.
Yeah, just like a pay it forward thing, when you, even though what happened, how the sacrifice is, we pay it forward, we can help other people so that it turns a better way. So yeah, the third person.
The third person is someone that Eddie didn't know also. Her name is Ruby. So Ruby actually know how Eddie's father passed away in the hospital ward, because Ruby spent some time with her husband in the hospital while seeing Eddie's father in another bed. And Ruby taught Eddie to forgive his father, because his father didn't treat Eddie's mom and himself good during their time. Things that I learned is about forgiveness on this. Forgiveness is something that, if you forgive someone, you will live lighter. And if you, hate someone, it's like poison inside yourself, inside out. So try to live forgiving others and forgive yourself. So I know it's easy said than done, but try to think about it.
First of all, who is Ruby in the book?
Ruby is, if you remember, Eddie worked in the amusement park in Ruby Park, in Ruby Pier. So Ruby Pier was actually named after this woman, because her husband actually built this amusement park. So it was named after her. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with so much with the forgiveness part. Sometimes in our life, you might have some people that hurts you. So forgive those that hurt you. So release any guilt or blame that you have. Like Yunin just now said, say it's easier than done. Yes, because we always say that, you want to forgive someone, but you have to do in your best in whatever capacity that you have to really help yourself to forgive another person. Because when you forgive another person, you will experience the peace and also the happiness within yourself. You feel like, when you hate someone, you're frustrated on someone, you're angry on someone, or you feel there is a grudge in you, you feel like your whole body is so toxic. You feel like your whole body is like eats you from inside out, and you feel so heavy. So your life will definitely feel lighter and happier and more at peace when you feel more with love. So do whatever you can to help yourself to forgive, and you can go and learn how to forgive someone. It is definitely the best everything that you can do for yourself. All right, so the fourth person that Eddie meets.
So the fourth person to me is the most emotional part. Eddie met his wife, who is passed away in age of 47 because of illness. Eddie lived until the age of 83 on this accident. So they actually don't see each other for about 40 years. So Eddie actually miss his wife a lot. And when he finally sees his wife again, he's very emotional. I think that the thing that I want to tell us is that life have to end, but love doesn't end. Love, when someone pass away, the love just take to just become another form. So what I want to say is try to remember this. If I know someone if you lost someone that you love, you will understand this. You will still cherish their love inside your memory. So this is talking a lot about love and unconditional love.
I think that Gideon are feeling so. All right, so touching. Yeah. Giving your unconditional love to someone, cherish the moment you have when they are with you. If even though the person is no longer with you, you still have the memory. Whatever happened, the past moment that you all have. So I always, tell people that live in the present moment. So means that we are cherish each other time together. Be where you are, be where your feet is on the ground. So don't think about other thing when you are with another person. So give them unconditional love. All right. So the last person that Eddie meet in heaven.
So the last person is someone that Eddie don't know also. So it's a little girl named Tala. So remember the second person when I say Eddie did go to a war, and during that wartime in Vietnam, they had to escape from the enemy. And during their escape, they actually burned down a camp. And without him knowing or the team knowing, they are actually some people inside the camp. So they actually burned that little girl, and the little girl died. But at that time, Eddie don't know. So when Eddie meet Tala, he is very regretful and sorry for this. But actually, the little girl didn't blame him. And the little girl say that, you actually spend your whole life in amusement park, taking care of the safety of the children. So you actually have a purpose of life. So the lesson I take is that everyone have a purpose of life in this earth. So no matter what you do, no matter how small you think your role are, you are definitely impacting someone or something else.
Live the life with no regrets. That is the final message from the book. If you met someone that, do something special for you, don't hesitate. Just say thank you to them. Don't underestimate the power of saying thank you. When you say a thank you, you may make someone's days beautiful. You may make someone's days bright. It is definitely a going thing to do, because I personally practice this a lot, and I can see how the small little words can impact the people, those around us. So Gideon, do you have any final message that you want to pass to the audience today before we leave?
Yeah, I actually didn't mention about this. Actually, Mitch, the book that Mitch write, all the book that he wrote is very simple. The structure is very simple. The story are simple, and English are not very simple. So it's a very good read. And you see, from very simple read, it have a very deep meaning. So I like all these kind of book that simple reading but deep meanings. And surprise of this is he actually wrote a book 15 years later called The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. Remember, Eddie saved a little girl in the amusement park. The girl name is Annie, and this is about the story of Annie. So this is a sequel, the continuation of this story, what Annie have gone through after Eddie. So it's quite meaningful for this book.
Just a curious one, Gideon. If after you die, right, who is the first person you want to meet in heaven? Do you ever think about this one? Yeah, I'm just curious.
Maybe my wife. Someone that, you know.
I can see that the fourth person that Eddie meets is someone he loves. So I think that's why you can resonate with this so much.
Depends who dies first, of course.
Because I always feel like one thing, you know, even though this is a fiction book, and I always think that this book is like, it can open our minds that, you know, if you have the chance to meet another person that already no longer in this planet Earth, you know, who you think that you want to meet first? It's a very touching topic for me as well. So, okay, we're going to close today, and we're going to see you next week, 11 a.m.